Viewer says the woman is sometimes joined by a man. That's him driving the Mercedes.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they were out here in a completely different area.
Viewer Rebecca Smith saw the 10 News story and recognized the family begging at this Vons on Regents Road in University City. She contacted us and we went to the Vons.
You know, they didn't say very much. He was holding the sign.
It looks like the same woman, similar purse, similar shoes, and it looks like the same little boy in the photos. She was pregnant before. Tuesday night, she's holding an infant. 10 News sent the old and new images of the woman to facial recognition expert Kent Gibson. He used a computer program called Face Forensic, which returned an 80% match, and that means it's most likely the same woman. I'm with 10 News. Hi. Is this you right here? Is this you right there begging on the street? No. That's not you. No speak English? I asked him where the car was in Spanish. No, ¿dónde está su coche? Mercedes? No? He said, what Mercedes? Then they switched from Spanish to another language. Then they walked away from us. We followed them to see what kind of car they were in this time. Not a Mercedes, but a minivan with dealer plates. They got into it and sped off.
I just find it sad that people would go to this extreme.
We don't know why they're begging for money, but what we do know by the viral Team 10 story is that people don't like beggars who drive really nice cars.
That was Emily Valdez reporting, and so many of you have been interested in this story. It has been the most viewed story on ABC7.com today, and has been viewed more than 1 million times on the ABC7 Facebook page. Certainly interesting.
It is, and when you see the picture of her pregnant with her little one, you know, asking for money, it's, you know, I'm sure it tugged at a lot of people's hearts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, well, we are updating the evening's top stories next at 8:30.
Plus, Caltrans making some changes to potentially dangerous freeway guardrails after an Eyewitness News investigation caught the agency's attention.
And buried too soon, a grieving family says a local funeral home botched their mother's burial.
Okay.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 8:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 8:30, a family pleads for help finding the suspect who beat an elderly man to death outside a Carl's Jr. restaurant in East LA in August. I'm Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ona. This is Eyewitness News at 8:30 on LA56. Investigators say 76-year-old Santos Castro was standing on a street corner on the 5600 block of Whittier Boulevard and got into a struggle with the suspect over a bicycle. The suspect is seen here on video inside Carl's Jr. moments before the murder. The suspect punched Castro several times in the head, knocking him to the sidewalk. Castro sustained blunt force trauma to the head and died at a hospital.
A 13-year-old boy riding a scooter to school was hit and killed by a suspected drugged driver at Streeter Avenue and Sierra Street in Riverside. Relatives say the victim is Giovanni Valle. Police say the driver ran a red light. The 44-year-old driver is under arrest on suspicion of driving under the influence of prescription drugs.
Mission accomplished. An exciting day in space as a spacecraft successfully landed on a comet. The European Space Agency says its Rosetta probe reached the surface this morning, and this is the first time in history a spacecraft has landed on a comet. All right, we have breaking news to get to. A horrific scene in Paramount following a multi-car crash. Let's go to Bill Thomas in Air 7HD for more. Bill?
David, a violent crash happened at 725. This is at the intersection of Somerset and Orange in the city of Paramount. Got a couple of pickup trucks, a few sedans as well. A total of 6 patients. 2 patients treated in critical condition, 1 in extreme critical condition, 3 more patients with minor injuries, and all 6 patients hospitalized this afternoon. You can see all the damage to all of those cars. Now, this is on Orange next to Somerset. We'll tilt up. This is a residential neighborhood, and it looks like there was some speed involved here. Take a look down a little further. This is the intersection, Somerset at Orange. The entire intersection is blocked off, and the cause of the accident is still under investigation by the LA County Sheriff's Department from the Lakewood station. Reporting live from Air 7 HD, I'm Bill Thomas, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Bill, thank you for that. Eyewitness News broke the story earlier today. Caltrans says it will immediately suspend installation of a controversial guardrail system. Caltrans faced weeks of pressure, and today California joined 40 other states that had already stopped installing the ET Plus guardrail end terminals. But while Caltrans says it will not install any new ones until results from new federal crash tests come back, there are no plans to remove the thousands of the potentially dangerous guardrail systems already on the road.
24-year-old Daryl Blackman was laid to rest in Oakland today, 11 days after crashing into an ET Plus guardrail system in Marin County.
He meant something to so many people. Most of all, he meant something to me, my big baby boy.
The 6'7" defensive end was a star football player at Berkeley High and even tried out for the 49ers this past April. Daryl's parents spoke to investigative reporter Dan Noyes at our sister station KGO in San Francisco.
It is a deep, deep, deep gulf. And you'll know you'll never get to the other side. It'll never be filled.
This animation shows how the ET Plus guardrail is supposed to work. The steel rail flattens out on impact, curling away from the car and its passengers. But this is what critics say can happen. The end terminal locks up, the guardrail spears the vehicle, or it can kick off to the side, allowing the car to continue on.
Today, Caltrans decided to suspend the installation of any new or existing ET Plus guardrail and treatments on the California State Highway system.
California is the 41st state in the nation to stop installing the suspect guardrails, but Caltrans has no plans to replace the thousands already on our highways. And California taxpayers will foot the bill, at least for now.
There will be some additional costs. We have construction contracts out there that we're going to need to write change orders on. We also are not going to be able to use the existing ones we have in our inventory, which means we will have to replace those.
Also today, the federal government released details of a new plan to retest the guardrail end terminals, which were manufactured by Trinity Industries in Texas. A jury found Trinity liable for fraud last month for failing to disclose changes made to the guardrail design, changes that saved the company $2 per guardrail. The verdict could cost Trinity up to $1 billion in damages.
The guardrail completely pierced my van. It went from inside and came outside. I thought my wife was completely dead.
The Gunter family is one of dozens of families suing Trinity. A guardrail impaled their vehicle in San Bernardino County back in 2011. 6 members of their family were inside the SUV, including 2 children.
These guardrails, instead of doing any protection, they're killing the people.
Trinity continues to insist that the guardrails are safe. Today, a spokesperson told us they plan to work with all of the states, including California, to address their concerns.
A family grieving the loss of a mother now distraught after they say the funeral home mistakenly buried her body before they had the chance to say their last goodbyes. As Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia tells us, the woman's family is now taking legal action against the funeral home.
She was the warrior. She deserves justice. She does.
The Barajas family is upset over what happened to their 84-year-old mother, Ubalda Aleman. She died on May 26th. The family made plans for a viewing and a funeral through the Rosecrans Funeral Home in Paramount. On June 10th, Evelina Barajas was bringing clothes to the funeral home for her mother to be buried in. That's when she was told a mistake had been made.
Ma'am, I have some bad news. There was a human error. We buried your mother by mistake. And I said, what do you mean by mistake? What's going on? And they said, yes, we buried her yesterday instead of another person.
Aleman's body was exhumed and Rosecrans Funeral Home arranged for another viewing and reburial.
I wanted a memory of my mom just being viewed and buried. Now I have memories of people talking about my mom, like saying, pobrecita. No, she wasn't a pobrecita. She was a strong woman. She was, I don't know, but she was a strong woman. And it ruined my life.
The family has filed a civil lawsuit against the Rosecrans Funeral Home. In a written statement to Eyewitness News, the law firm representing the funeral home says, quote, Rosecrans Funeral Home is honored by the opportunity to serve the community and by their trust in us. Consistent with this long-standing commitment by Rosecrans, we respect the privacy of our clients and therefore have no comment at this time.
Since this is a civil case, the first court date for them is not until 2016. It's over a year away, which gives both sides a chance to build their case or work out some sort of settlement. In Paramount, Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
As we wait for the DA's office to file charges in the murder of an Army vet in Sylmar, we are learning more about the victim. 21-year-old Francisco Garcia joined the Army in June 2012 and was assigned to Fort Drum. A person close to Garcia told the LAPD he had served in Afghanistan, but the Army says Garcia was not deployed overseas. Also, his family had said he had been accepted to the CHP Academy. The CHP says it had accepted his application and the testing process to get into the academy was set to start in January.
Police are looking for possible victims of a man they say targets aspiring Korean models. The suspect is identified as 41-year-old Jung Park. Police are looking for him. Detectives say Park places ads in Korean media seeking models, then forces them to perform sexual acts, and then threatens to get them deported if they don't comply. Anyone with information can call 1-877 LAPD 24/7. That's 877-527-3247.
Today, a special dedication ceremony also marks 1 year since the unsolved murder of Joseph Gatto, father of State Assemblyman Mike Gatto. Assemblyman Gatto unveiled a memorial highway sign honoring his father today. The ceremony was outside Los Angeles High School for the Arts, where his father was a highly regarded teacher. The stretch of the 10 freeway leading to the school is now named in honor of Joseph Gatto.
He touched so many lives. He got up every day, rain or shine, never missed a day of work in 47 years, and drove that highway filled with traffic to come here and teach students.
At LAPD headquarters today, investigators appealed to the public for help in solving the murder. Shortly after the murder, detectives released this composite sketch of a man seen trying to break into a car the night of the murder. The city is offering a $50,000 reward for information that leads to a conviction.
Well, it appears the Bob Hope Airport in Burbank is changing its name to one it previously held, the Hollywood Burbank Airport. Officials with the Bob Hope Airport say some travelers confuse it with John Wayne Airport in Orange County. Both airports do not reference their location. The airport's executive director says the airport has lost about 2 million passengers a year since 2008. So airport officials have decided to rebrand the name because it's too confusing. Some people associate Bob Hope with Palm Springs and think that's where the airport is located.
The name Hollywood is something that people all over the country and all over the world recognize.
The airport was called the Hollywood Burbank Airport from 1967 to 1978. Then it became the Burbank Glendale Pasadena Airport. Then in 2003, when Bob Hope died, it became the Bob Hope Airport. The legal name will remain Bob Hope Airport, but new Hollywood Burbank Airport signs will go up next year.
Many people have left traditional banking and instead are using prepaid cards.
But is it actually helping to save money, or is it costing more? We dig into the answer.
LA Live, it's the home of sports, entertainment, and tonight it's a showcase for local artisans. Coming up, I'll tell you about the PopUp Marketplace.
Well, it's definitely felt like fall this week, but I have a warm-up in the forecast and maybe some rain. Details in your 7-8, the ground floor.
Millions of Americans now use prepaid cards to manage their money.
Consumer specialist Rick Romero teamed up with Consumer Reports and found some deals are much better than others.
Like many people, Leslie Robinson has switched to a prepaid card. She especially likes it to pay bills because she's fed up with traditional banking.
Bank accounts is charging me too many fees with overdrafts and interest fees, so I choose to close them out and go prepaid.
Not everyone with a prepaid card uses it as a substitute for a bank account.
Many prepaid card users use a prepaid card as a tool to keep themselves on a budget by loading on a certain amount for, say, food or entertainment.
Consumer Reports just rated 23 prepaid cards, and not all are great values.
It can be difficult to tell what the fees are, and some of the cards can be quite expensive to use.
For example, the NetSpend prepaid Visa pay-as-you-go plan charges $1 to $2 every time you make a purchase, and there's no cap on those fees. And the NetSpend prepaid Visa Fee Advantage plan charged $9.95 per month. So does the Account Now Gold Visa prepaid card, and its fees can be hard to figure out. Also a problem? The American Express for Target prepaid card, because it's not insured by the FDIC. Bluebird, a prepaid card issued by American Express and Walmart, got top ratings.
There's no monthly fee, no activation fee, no fee for making purchases or paying bills, and no fee for loading money either by direct deposit or at Walmart.
Bluebird also has a wide network of MoneyPass ATMs that are free to use. Consumer Reports gave several other prepaid cards high ratings, including Chase Liquid Visa, H&R Block Emerald Prepaid MasterCard, and Prepaid Visa Rush Card with the Rush Unlimited plan. This is Rick Romero, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
As we get closer to the holidays, you can help bring a smile to the face of a child by taking part in the Spark of Love toy drive.
Drop off new unwrapped toys or sports equipment at your local fire station or bring them to one of our Stuff a Bus events.
And the first is next Friday at Los Cerritos Center. Eyewitness News elf Garth Kemp will be there to collect your donations from 4:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night. And you'll find more information about ways to give on abc7.com/sparkoflove.
A chance of some morning rain, and we'll check in with Jonathan Novak for a complete look at the weather forecast.
Plus, Clayton Kershaw does it again as the Dodgers ace takes home a second straight Cy Young. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from number 22. Jonathan, don't try to dash our dreams that we're going to get a little drizzle in the morning.
I'll take drizzle. That's good, right? We'll take that. Actually, we had some, at the Getty Center, we had 0.01, 1/100th of an inch of rain from the marine layers, squeezing out a little bit of precipitation this morning. And maybe tomorrow the same thing, but the chance of real rain, significant rain, is low. Well, I'd make it up for 7000 HD shows a dry picture tonight, show a dry picture tomorrow. Up around Santa Barbara, we may squeeze out a little bit more than drizzle tomorrow in the first half of the day. We've got a front that we're watching, but it's just taking its time, and it's just doesn't have that punch to it that we really would look for real rain chances, anything more than 20%. So Burbank today, clouds hung around, and we had cool weather. It was feeling like fall. Temperatures were actually a little bit cooler than normal in many spots, or right around that. Woodland Hills was 72. Upland only 62, and Simi Valley was at 68 degrees. If you look at the inland areas tonight, up against the coast, very similar. 61 in Burbank, 62 in Long Beach. So really not a big spread with those temperatures tonight. So anywhere you go, you're going to be in the mid to upper 50s, maybe lower 60s at best for this evening. For the temperatures, we'll dip down into the upper 50s in LA overnight. And then tomorrow morning, similar to today. Right? We've got an onshore flow. It's hanging out for about another couple of days. To the east of us, by the way, you've heard about the frigid temperatures, -3 in Denver right now. Wow, it is cold. Portions of the plains are in the teens this evening, dipping down to the single digits, all right? So we've got the onshore flow while that cold air just stays at bay off to the east of us. That onshore flow will keep the marine layer in place for tomorrow. And for Friday, the front may kick up a light shower around Santa Barbara, otherwise just some drizzle in the morning. Same thing on Friday, but watch what happens on Saturday. Here's a change. Saturday afternoon, you see that arc form right here? That's high pressure building in. We're going to warm up a little bit on Saturday, a little bit more on Sunday. Sunshine comes back, and the weekend is fantastic. So highs tomorrow around 70. Simi Valley, Northridge, Glendale, Pasadena, Los Angeles, Covina, all at 70 forecasted for tomorrow. Upper 60s in the IE, down to the coast. 70 forecast for LA Metro and Orange County, powered up by AccuWeather. Tonight, 70 and then 71 on Friday. We warm up a little on Saturday and even more on Sunday. The next system knocks our temps back down. We're going to keep it dry right now with that system. That would be next Tuesday and Wednesday. Valleys IE, 70 to 71 between Thursday and Friday. The weekend looking really nice. A little bit of patchy fog possible on Saturday morning, otherwise dry, sunny Saturday and Sunday in the afternoons. 77 on Sunday and down to the mid-70s after that. The mountains, cold in the morning, cool in the afternoon, right about 56 to 58 the next 2 days, around 60 on Sunday. Sunny skies, looks really nice for you in the weekend. The high desert, gusty winds, 35 miles an hour for 2 days before the weekend hits. Looks good for Saturday and Sunday in the upper 60s. Dallas has more on ABC7 at 11.
All right, Jonathan, thank you.
Have a good night.
Back in May, Kings fans filled the Honda Center with chants of "This is our house" as they beat the Ducks in Game 7 of their playoff series. Today, the two will drop the puck once again in the OC. Ducks have the best record in the West, while the Kings look for their second road win on the year. Full highlights are coming up on Eyewitness News at 11 p.m. Kobe and the Lakers in the Bayou on the back end of a two-straight. Mamba coming out firing from distance tonight, scoring 16 of his game-high 33 points in the first half, but shooting a dismal 10 for 28. LA down 3 at the half. And down 61-57, Nolan's putting on their track shoes off the Kobe miss. Pelicans are off and running. Tyreek Evans finds Anthony Davis for the oop, and Brow had 25 and 12. Still in the third, Lakers keep it close. Mamba with a drive, kicks to Wes Johnson, who drains the three ball. Lakers down 73-68, but New Orleans was money from distance in the fourth quarter, hitting 4 of their 8 three-pointers in the final frame. Lakers fall to 1-8. with a date against the defending champs Friday. 109-102 is the final. This afternoon, as expected, Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw took home his second straight Cy Young Award. The Big Blue ace received all 30 first-place votes by the Baseball Writers Association. Kersh joins an exclusive 6-man list, which includes Dodger great Sandy Koufax as the only ones to win 3 Cy Youngs in a 4-year span, but the first to 3 by the age of 26. Here's Kersh on the comparisons to Koufax.
I just have so much respect for Sandy, you know, getting to know him over the years, and just what a great guy he is, and really the mentor and role model he is for me, just to talk to him about pitching and life. He's just such a great guy, so I never want to take anything away from what he's doing, and I feel like at this point in my career, that's what I would be doing. So just try and do my own thing, and at the end of my career, if I'm even close, then that's a huge honor.
So tomorrow, Kershaw will try to make it an awards sweep in 2014 when the MVP awards are announced.
Now, an important programming note. Starting on Monday, you can get your news on KDOC 1 hour earlier. ABC7 Eyewitness News on LA56 is moving to 7 p.m. starting on Monday, November 17th. And we're going to be the only newscast at 7 o'clock, so it'll be great.
Right. ABC7 at 7. Easy to understand.
On LA56.
On LA56.
A lot of numbers there. All right, well, more news straight ahead here at 8:30. And ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. We have a crew en route to our breaking news story. Several people injured in a violent crash in Paramount. The multi-car pileup in a residential area has shut down at least one neighborhood. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Plus, the stars of Dumb and Dumber are back 20 years later to make you laugh again. What Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels did to make our entertainment guru, George Pinocchio, laugh during the interview for the movie. News stories and all the late breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. A lot of activity taking place right now at LA Live in downtown Los Angeles.
As Eyewitness News reporter Amy Powell shows us, it's a pop-up marketplace tonight only with vendors, local artists, and food booths.
I have succulent planters, and I've got some coasters, faceted tea light holders.
Using scraps of discarded wood, Cece Boyce creates treasures.
Take wood that would have ended up in a landfill and put it all together and make different shapes and make usable, beautiful things out of them.
Cece is one of the more than 60 vendors taking part in LA Live's pop-up marketplace.
These markets are great not only to sell things, but maybe for someone who owns a store to see your work, somebody who's a blogger to come see your work and feature you. It's just a good way to get your name out there.
Visitors can find a variety of unique handcrafted goods and art for sale. It's a good place to find items that may suit someone on your holiday gift list.
We have 3 different silhouettes. We have a 2-inch tie, a 2.5-inch tie, and a 3-inch tie. But we like to play around with materials, so we do leather, denim, wool, canvas, corduroy, and we like to play around with interesting prints.
This is from Wheeling, West Virginia, 1910, and this is from Atlanta, 1896.
The Tin Man is offering one-of-a-kind works of art crafted from antique tin ceiling tiles.
I combine different ceilings from different buildings and turn them into one-of-a-kind pieces of art that you can hang in your home, use as a table, use as a headboard, use as a backsplash.
This pop-up marketplace is open until 10 o'clock tonight, and LA Live says it does plan to do this again in the coming months. In downtown Los Angeles, Amy Powell, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
A Salvation Army tradition means an early Christmas shopping spree for less fortunate kids.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas. And your name? Hi, Ronnie. Welcome to Sears.
At Sears in Santa Monica, Santa welcomed children for the 30th annual shopping spree for underprivileged children. With a volunteer helper, the kids had the store all to themselves. And what do they want most?
Mainly clothes, and then I'm going to take a peek at the shoes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Girl after my own heart. This year, 110 children were treated to breakfast by the city of Santa Monica and then went on their shopping spree. Each gets $100 to spend.
All right. That's great. Yeah. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 8:30 on LA56.
Have a great evening.